Now, moving ahead, let's look at the next step you'll take when creating a campaign, and that's brand and design. Updating your design settings lays the groundwork for your campaign, and it will save you a lot of time. But before we dive into Razorly, there is a design asset checklist below, which we'll quickly run through. It's also a good idea to know the person who manages your visual brand, as you may need them, or use your existing website as a good reference tool. Now, to start, you will need your logo. Now, ideally, you'll have 3 versions, a white, a black, and a colored version. Logos need to have a transparent background, so no JPEGs, ideally PNGs or SVGs. And probably sizing 300 pixels is a good sort of space to start. Next, you'll need your 2 colors. Likely, you'll have a primary brand color, so grab the hex value, that's the 6-character code for that color. You'll also need an accent or a complementary color as a secondary. If you do not have one, rather than using black or white, consider heading to coolers.co and find a color that really works. Now, lastly, you need your fonts. You may have a single font that's been used for heading and body text, or you may have one for each. If your fonts are Google fonts, then you just need the name. If they are Adobe fonts, you will need to create a WebKit in Adobe and grab the ID. If neither of these, you'll need the font files in a web format. Now, don't have any brand fonts? Well, head over to Google Fonts to find some popular fonts used. Now, caution, don't choose the crazy ones. You may think they're creative, but often they harm the user experience, leading to failed engagement. You're better off to be clean than creative. Now, once you've gathered assets, head to Razorly. First, from your sidebar, select the Razorly icon if you're already in your campaign, just to go back to your account settings. Here we're going to select Settings and go down to Media Library. Now, this one is actually your organization level media library. What this gives you the opportunity to do is upload your design assets and at the core your brand assets that you'll be using across all of your campaigns. So, for example, I have my Razorly logo, a favicon, and also a profile image. But you may have other assets such as icons or font files that you'll need to upload here. Now, once we've uploaded, simply go back into our campaign, open our campaign. From the sidebar, select Design, and then we'll start with Brand. Now, within Brand, we want to update our logo, our brand colors, and our favicon are the main things. So let's start with logo. Open this one up. Remove the existing, select your logo, and simply hit Save Changes. Now we can update our brand color. Let's open this up, and I'm going to copy into here the hex value for one of Razorly's brand colors. Save my changes, and that's saved. I want to next update my secondary color. I can just do the same by opening secondary color, selecting, paste, save my changes. The next we can update our favicon. Simply remove this favicon, select, and upload. Your favicon is a little image that lives up in your URL, and if you don't have one, simply ask your design team for it. There are 2 more options down the bottom. The first is campaign image, and this image is a default image that's applied to your template. Now you can remove it, which will replace it with your primary brand color, or swap it out for another image. In this case, I'm just going to remove it. And lastly, you have default profile image. Now, this is used in fundraiser campaigns such as peer-to-peer or community hubs, where you want a default profile available for those who don't upload their own. I'm going to select this one, hit Save My Changes, and I'm done with brand. My next step in design is to look at my fonts. Updating each of your heading and paragraph fonts is really important. If using Adobe fonts or custom fonts, do refer to our support guide below. But within Razorly, for each of your fonts, you do have the option of looking at all the different Google fonts available, such as Inter. Here you can select the color, the font sizes, and a few other font settings as well. You do have your bold settings, italic, underline, and also uppercase. Once you've updated all your headings, you can also update your paragraph font, and this is what is called your body font. You do have some similar settings available to you there, and also down the bottom you do have some options for link colors and also styles if you want to update. Next in design, we can look at your buttons. Now, Razor has 4 default buttons available: primary, secondary, call to action, and inverse. And let's keep it simple and color the primary with primary and secondary with secondary. So we're going to go to the background color, change it over to primary, and hit save our changes. Secondary is already defaulted as the background color, so I'll leave that there. Now, if I go down to call to action and also open inverse, you notice they're a little bit different. So I'm going to uppercase both of these so they match up to the other buttons that we had available above. Within the call to action button, I typically will make this over to the primary color. So we can go to change the border color and also change the text color. Save our changes and let's preview. That looks pretty good. Now let's go down and change our inverse. Typically for most of it, I'll change the inverse over to hollow. We're going to leave the border color at white, and also we're going to change the text color over to white. We'll hit save our changes. Let's go have a look. That looks great. Awesome. Our buttons are all done. Do note, if you do want some different corner edgings around the buttons, some good options are either 0 pixels for no border rounding, 5 pixels for a subtle one, or 20 pixels if you want like the pure looking button as well. Now next in design, we also have Media Library. Now Media Library is a great place for you to store campaign related assets such as PDFs or images that you're going to be using through your campaign as well. Now you know how to set up your global design settings. Great work. Now check out and complete the module task below, and when you're ready, select complete to move ahead to the next module in Razor Essentials.